Welcome to my spiritual journal with me, Iona. So in this YouTube podcast episode, I want to share with you my spiritual routines. And I'm talking about intentional living for light workers. So if you are new to the SoulLegacyTV YouTube podcast, consider subscribing or following if you're watching or you're listening to this episode. So we are on day 13. And in my world for intentional living, it is spiritual freedom Saturday. And so if you are watching or listening in the Soul Legacy Academy, or if you're a student, then I have a 2-hour monthly call talking about intentional living, and I'll coach you and support you all the way through each area of your life. So in this episode, I want to talk about spiritual freedom, and every day I come live on the Soul Legacy TV YouTube podcast to share my spiritual routines, my practices. I have a card from Keepers of the Light that I usually share every single day. This is gold. So definitely, and it went to 111. Yay! Definitely stay to the end for this, because I believe that the message is for you as well. I talk about my spiritual routines and intentional living for crystals and cards. They're really great ones today. And feel free to do your spiritual journal along with me. This is called the Soul Legacy Journal. It's a notebook, so it's lined. I have a blank one on Amazon, a smaller one than this one on Amazon. This one is on Lulu. It's a spiral bound spiritual notebook. It says 365 days of your spiritual awakening story, and it says a co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy for light workers. So we're talking about spiritual freedom, and so I want to talk about these 3 areas in intentional living. I talk about these every single day, and they're the foundations and the basis of, for me, living an intentional life. So they are your vision, your values, and your vibration. And so with the spirituality piece and the spiritual freedom for intentional living, I think this is gold. I love all of the days that I talk about. And if you are new to me and you haven't done my spiritual vision board for light workers, I've got a week that we dive deep on intentional living. And so I have a spiritual vision board challenge just for intentional living, but for all areas of your life. So every day we talk about a different area of your life in terms of your vision for your life, the vibration and the freedom. And if you see kind of smoke, I'm burning incense. So, or if you're listening, you won't see it. So on a Monday, I talk about contribution freedom, how you want to contribute in your light work, in your lifestyle, and getting your gifts out there in the world as an author and an authority, and how you can bring spirituality into your spiritual business, right? And your spiritual YouTube channel and your spiritual books and all of the things. And so on a Tuesday, I talk about health freedom and living intentionally while you're doing your work in the world, not letting your health go by the wayside. It's super easy to do that. Let me know what vision you have for your light work, and what spiritual routines that you have that support you in that, and have you been listening to the Soul Legacy TV and me share about my spiritual journal, and are you journaling along with me? Let me know. So we talk about health freedom, and on a Wednesday we talk about emotional freedom, and on Thursday we talk about environmental freedom. Friday is relationship freedom, Saturday is spiritual freedom, and Sunday is financial freedom. So basically, these daily lives in my spiritual journal is to support you in manifesting what is on your spiritual vision board. That is why I'm here. That is what I'm doing myself. And so this is day 13, I believe, and it's been an amazing journey. I've been living intentionally for just over 3.5 years, and I've been doing the daily lives and daily videos. Went to 444. Yay. I did close to 200 maybe on Facebook, and then I transferred over to doing them on YouTube. And I can tell you, the power of living intentionally and the power of setting your intentions is absolutely huge. So let me know how you find it. Do you set daily intentions? Do you live intentionally, or are you just kind of seeking this out and exploring it a little bit? I have a quote for you. I have lots of different things that I will share with you, but I have a quote for you. And so this is the quote. Every day I'll share a quote from my Momentum app. I have a look on my Momentum app. I open up a new tab on my Mac, and it just is a really nice way to capture the essence of other people's words and other people's thoughts. I love that. I love having really powerful conversations, and I believe that when people have, say a certain quote, there's certain things that I will say. I've got my quote on the back of the Soul Legacy Journal. That it just you just hear what you need to hear at the time, at the right time, in divine time, right? So this is a quote by Rosa Parks. Huge. She says, I have heard over the years that when one's mind is made up, this diminishes fear. Knowing what must be done does away with the fear. So I love that. So when your mind is made up to do a certain thing, for me, it's, create my spiritual business online and have that be successful. What success means to me, and success to me and living intentionally is me walking my talk, living in alignment with my values, and just really living my best life. A level 11 life. People say about a level 10. And for me, we rate each area of our life every single day. So my rating is 11. And let me know how high vibe you're feeling. So the rating is based on, and I share more on the Spiritual Vision Board Challenge, and I'll leave the link in the description and in the cards as well, and at the end on the end screens. And so, and everything that I share, there's links and things to them. So the Spiritual Vision Board, when we talk about, I use something called the Soul Legacy Wheel. Instead of a wheel of life, we talk about launching, leading, and leaving your soul legacy, and doing it with ease, grace, and flow. And so we rate your life from a 1 to an 11. So 1 being not as fulfilled, being in soul funk and letting the world, the visible world, push and pull you a little bit, getting caught up in the humanness. And an 11 is that connection with your higher self, looking at the world, experiencing your life through the lens of your soul. I love it. It's a beautiful perspective to have. And it just makes you elevate up the vibrational scale. If you are familiar with Abraham Hicks, which I'm sure you probably are, and if you're not, then Google it. We talk about it on a Wednesday for emotional freedom, but you want to be vibing high. We know that we're energy, right? And we're souls having a human experience. So we wanted to be connected with our higher self. So that for me is just beautiful. And so once your mind is made up, it diminishes fear. There's oftentimes people come to me and they've got this big grand vision of making their difference in the world, and they've got fear around it. Fear of being visible is the one that comes up, because I teach to get onto YouTube, bring your spiritual business to the forefront, to the light, and speak your truth, right? And so that doesn't always go down well, meaning that like the internal stuff comes, and the voice inside your head, which I'm going to talk about from the book today, The Untethered Soul. That voice inside your head brings up that fear, and it's like, oh God, you kind of take yourself out and hold yourself back. But as a light worker, we know living intentions, setting intentions, our soul intention is to come to the earthly plane to make our difference to the world. And if we are stuck in fear, and it is the lowest vibration on the emotional scale for Abraham Hicks, freedom is the highest. Freedom, love, joy, empowerment. That is what the Soul Legacy TV is about. So do share this out. Do comment. Do let me know how you find it. Because I think it's really, really, really important. I'm very passionate about it. So with that said, the book, I don't have the book on me. I have an Audible subscription. The book is called The Untethered Soul. And so when I'm using my spiritual journal, I will note the quote of the day that's connected, and just really feel into it and feel what that message is telling me. There's a quote, and I believe that everything, what vibration we're attracting, we are attracting the experiences to support us, even when it doesn't feel like it. So the book that I've been drawn to read on a Saturday for my spiritual freedom, on my vision board, on my spiritual vision board, I have a lot of books. We have a book club in the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network. I love books. Let me know what's your favorite book on spirituality, what book you're reading. So we have a book club, and I will do full book reviews every single day. I'll listen to a chapter, or I'll listen to as much as like my head needs, right? So sometimes when you open a page of a book, let me know if you do this, open a page of a book and just let the pages open and full, and you know that message is for you. That's kind of how I listen to my Audible books. I don't just listen. I listen and I take that lesson. So we kind of have lessons learned from our books. So this book that I love is one of my favorite books, actually, and people had recommended it to me. It's called The Untethered Soul. Everything that has soul in it, I'm all about it, right? And so it says the journey beyond yourself. And if you haven't ever seen that book, listen to that book. It's by Michael Singer. It's absolutely phenomenal. So basically the lesson for today that I heard was, and I've gone back to listen to all my books again, so I can share them more in depth with you. So this was part one of the book, and he talks about the voice inside your head. So when I've taught this and I've shared this with people around me, they're like, what voice? I don't have a voice inside my head. My head's empty, kind of thing. And it's like, it's not empty. And he says, when you think you don't have that voice inside your head, then it's the voice that's saying there is no voice inside your head. So I pride myself in being connected to listening. So when I'm journaling in my spiritual journal, in the Soul Legacy journal, Soul Legacy, right? When I'm journaling in there, I'm with the untethered soul and all of the things, it's journaling in a detached way to notice and observe the voice inside my head. Usually the voice inside my head is supporting me, and it's only just now actually listening to myself speak. So this is a beautiful process. This process is for me as well as it is for you. This is me living intentionally and bringing my spiritual journal to life. So hopefully you'll find this helpful as I connect the dots. So and we teach what we need to learn the most, right? And so listening to the voice inside your head, people often say to me, like, how do you do what you do? And like, I've got a really big vision on my vision board. I break it down and I just go like daily, every day. I'm going for it. This is me going for it and really practicing what I preach and walking my talk. And so I just was like, my voice is for me. The majority of the time, my voice is for me, the voice inside my head. And so when it's not, and I have that contrast, I'm like, dude, what's going on? And people go, oh, wow, you've got such great deep awareness. One, because I use the Soul Legacy journal, right? But two, this quote connects that. So Rosa Parks says, she's learned over the years that when your mind is made up, my mind is made up. My mind is made up to come and speak to you, to create my Soul Legacy journal, right? On the Soul Legacy TV, and I'm the founder of the SoulLegacyAcademy.com. I have the Soul Legacy movement, like it's done, it's made up. It diminishes the fear. So even if, because I don't love camera, even when it's that things are not easy, you still do the thing because you've made up your mind. Your mind is already made up, so your mind will support you. And then there isn't this fear, because when there's fear present, you're not in vibrational alignment with what it is that you want to manifest, right? And so you're not in alignment with the experiences of your vision board. So that energy of fear is you're emitting that vibration. So you're going to get more of the things that you're fearful about, like fearful of that happening, fearful of this happening in each area of your life that we break down, right? So, you know, let me know in the comments, like, let me know, is there fear in a particular area? So I talk about contribution. Is there fear in that? Is there fear in your health? Is there fear in your emotions? Like, are you feeling a certain way the majority of the time and having fear around that? Fear around your environment, whatever's going on, fear around your relationships, whatever's going on, fear around your spirituality and that connection, fear around finances, right? When your mind is made up to make a difference. Hey love, I'm on a rant today, Robin. Hey love, how you doing? So for those of you who don't know, Robin Knott is an Energy Healing TV podcast. She hosts that YouTube channel. So I definitely suggest subscribing. So Robin is my lead soul guided instructor for the SoulLegacyAcademy.com and for the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network. And we are setting the stage on YouTube to show up and be raw and real and bring spirituality into every single area of our life and to align and to clear the energy. So Robin, I don't know how long you've been listening for, because it says no one was on. So I talked about this quote, and I'm going to repeat this quote just because it will make more sense for me bridging that gap. So this is a quote by Rosa Parks. It's awesome. So Robin says, hey, everyone. Awesome. Thank you. She says, I've heard over the years that when one's mind is made up, this diminishes fear. Knowing what must be done does away with fear. I love that. Like, once your mind is made up, once you've made it, now I was saying, because you often say to me, Robin, that like you've got this awareness, Iona, like you're hearing the voice in your head and I'm calling it out. I'm always calling it out. I'm always calling myself out. I call myself out on my lives. I call myself out on a daily. And me doing my spiritual journal is me calling myself out. You say this as well, Robin, when we shed light on it, when we as light workers, as empaths, as highly sensitive people, when we have the things that are going on behind closed doors in the darkness and we're not shedding light on them, it gives them more power. So, you know, having that fear and the lowest vibration, if your mind is not made up, you will have more fear, right? When you've made up your mind that what is on your vision board, that is the thing that is going to be happening no matter what, your brain starts to support you and you start to see opportunities and more experiences to actually continue to manifest. And I like to say that things fill in. So as spiritual freedom, when we set those soul intentions, we don't have to micromanage and control everything, although we want to sometimes. Things fill in. The universe then supports you, but it doesn't support you if your mind is not made up and you have fear, because it's at the lowest vibration, no frequency. That means you're spiraling down. You're spiraling down. So when you've made up your mind and it diminishes fear, then you're going to automatically vibrate higher. So that's when I say, you know, rate your frequency. What's your frequency? Is it a 1 or is it an 11? Are you in soul funk or you're in soul flow? And if you're in soul funk, you're probably experiencing fear because your mind is not made up on whatever it is. And I love that. So Robin, I was saying about the untethered soul. Let me know if you know that book, The Untethered Soul. So Michael Singer was talking about, it's called The Untethered Soul, The Journey Beyond Yourself. And so he says that basically the voice inside your head is talking to you, and oftentimes it takes you out. And the voice inside my head is usually for me. It's usually supporting me. And that's why I've just made this connection, is because my mind is already made up. So then, therefore, it's not full of fear and fearful thoughts. The thoughts that you're feeling and the thoughts that you're thinking and your feelings are like in sync. They have energy, and so it brings up more of the same kind of thought. So Abraham Hicks say that, you know, when you are thinking a thought and it creates that momentum, and it's another thought that will match that thought, that will match that thought, and soon you're really spiraling out of control. Robin says, yes, absolutely. When we shed light on it and bring it into our awareness, fear of the unknown is a real thing, isn't it? Love that quote. It's beautiful. So fear of the unknown. Let's talk about that for a second. So the unknown is, for me, it's not having faith of you can create or co-create your experience, and not having to micromanage the co-creation, not trusting the filling in. So I don't have that fear of the unknown as such as some people do, because I've learned to make up my mind and trust the things, so I know what's going to be coming to me, if that makes sense, because I'm vibrating, emitting that frequency. So I know what's coming to me, even when things are like, you know, shit happens, I see the lesson in them, that like, oh, okay, well, this is the thing that connects the thing. Does that make sense? Robin says, I read that years ago, I should read it again or listen to the audiobook. And notice, Robin, because you're amazing, but notice when you say should, is like, but will you? So spiritual freedom, I invite you, Robin, to, I don't know, so I don't know if this book is on YouTube like for free, but Audible is just a wonderful resource. I listened to it and I will come back to it on a spiritual freedom. There are so many books that we want to listen to, and this is a beautiful process for me. I love books and I love learning from different authors. And when I can then say, hey, I'm going to listen on a health freedom Tuesday to, or health freedom Wednesday, health freedom Tuesday, to sleep smarter, so that I can support my sleep, I can support my health. And then I can listen to the Untethered Soul on a spiritual freedom Saturday, so that each area of my life is getting covered. I'm not actually just listening to a book and then not taking it in. So like Robin says, you know, I listened to that years ago, I should go and listen to it again. And I love doing that. However, now as we start to live intentionally and we use our Soul Legacy journal, we start to actually intentionally listen and read books, so that they're integrated into our life. And you know, whatever book that is, books do change lives, and as we write our own books and we're absorbing that energy and the lessons, and we're practicing what we preach, is just such a beautiful I feel so honored and so blessed to be able to host the Soul Legacy TV the way that I am, and to have the YouTube podcast, whether you're listening or you're watching me, and whenever that is. I think there's nuggets of wisdom and value in it all for me as well. So Robin says, I will, although it's not on my immediate list, I'm getting back into Think and Grow Rich first. Cool. So I love that. Thank you, Robin. So Robin and I have a mastermind. I have a mastermind in the Soul Legacy Academy. And if you want to know more about that or working with me, then I will leave the link to my masterclass down below. So I have a free masterclass. I have a free chapter of for my book, and I'll explain more at the end. But I love the power of a mastermind, and I love the power of the mind. Again, once your mind is made up. And Think and Grow Rich is like super powerful, but so I read that anyway. So that's the thread throughout. I recommend that for Financial Freedom Sunday as well. But taking time, like I can't do it because it's on my phone. So literally, I'll listen to a chapter of a book, and today, for each day, so it like some chapters are 10 minutes. But today I only listened to like 5 minutes of that book. And it was just that reminder. It was like having a conversation with the author each day, pulling that in. So, and Napoleon Hill talks about in his mastermind that he created a mastermind of different people, like people that had passed, and he pulled in their knowledge and their wisdom, and he listened to them, like, what would they do in this situation? What would they do? It's just, it's further down in the book, Robin, that we've got. It's just amazing. So I'm using the authors to actually give me, like being that mentor for me that is sharing. So I do invite you to as and when it feels good or headspace feels good, to pick a book. And it doesn't have to be the books that I have, you know, the books that really do make sense for you, for your contribution freedom and your health freedom and your emotional freedom, and just listen to a little bit and set your intentions with it. So I love it. So I go off on a tangent because it's beautiful. And again, I will pull this card. This today has been absolutely amazing. So that's part of me living intentionally and doing my spiritual journal and just sitting and sharing it while I'm doing my journaling. It's so, so powerful. Robin says, I like that perspective author as a mentor. Yeah, that just fell out of my mouth. Like, that's how I feel about it, but I've just articulated it in a new way. Again, when you share and you share your work in the world, and then you have someone, that's the power of doing a YouTube video live rather than doing it just from in your head. Like when we're explaining something, it's like, oh, well, what's the reason behind that? What's the reason behind this? Or this is a perspective. It's a beautiful process. And thank you, Robin, for spending this time with me. I do everything that I do it intentionally. That is for me what is intentional living. And when I first started this process, because I've been doing it for years now, I was like, okay, well, I'll listen to a book. And I was doing this, I was sharing the books on Facebook. But now doing it on YouTube, I'm even more intentional with it. And I'm understanding why I'm doing it, why I felt called to do that, because I know that my audience want to listen to books, want to read books, love books, want to write books. But oftentimes I listened to this YouTube video a little while ago, a few weeks ago, and this guy was saying, I stopped reading books. And it's like, whoa, that caught my attention. So I stopped reading spiritual books because he wasn't implementing the thing. He was just using it, feeding his mind. And there was a lot of people on there that said, yeah, you know, these, stop listening to books and other spiritual YouTubers, because books. And he was just absorbing a lot of information, but still he was still in pain and in the darkness in a lot of areas of his life. And that's why for the Soul Legacy Journal, it is spiritual awakening. We're awakening every single day. So that little perspective there helps with our spiritual alchemy, a co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy. We're alchemizing our core wounds through other people's messages and other people's teachings. I love it. I do love it. So my spiritual journal and my spiritual routines, they talk about vision, what vision you have on your spiritual vision board. What's on your spiritual vision board, Robin, that you're willing to share? Do you have anything? I want to do, what is it called? Was it Vaspran? Or Vas? I can't say the word, a silent retreat. However, I'd have to then record my spiritual journal and then set that on and then go on a retreat. And I can absolutely do this. I don't have to go every day completely live. I can stream it out like it's live and then go on a 10-day silent retreat. However, I've heard someone say that they had done it in their home. I believed before that it would be really super painful for me to do that because I talk so much, but I definitely will do it in this lifetime for sure. So I did the quote. I've got the soul income game at the end. We've done our rating. Robin, you know this for your rating. What is your rating for your spiritual freedom? How high vibe are you? Are you in soul funk or in soul flow? Mine's an 11 today. Values, my values, I don't actually have them to hand. On our spiritual vision board and through intentional living, we talk about our values. I can't think of it's on my phone. I can't think of what I've done for my spiritual freedom. Every day I want to connect and just bring into my awareness. I will scramble for it. Bring into my awareness what my biggest value is in each area, and to see that I'm actually vibrating at that frequency, and I'm putting that spiritual freedom or whatever area in my life throughout my week. And that's a shame that I don't have that. Let me have a look real quick. So every day, so for contribution freedom, it's integrity. My biggest values are fun, integrity, family, love, like those kinds of things. But I wanted to see if I had, and I talk about smiling a lot. Definitely remember to smile a lot, right? I don't have it right now, but I will do it for next for spiritual freedom Saturday. But what I do is I set the intention for my values to show up in each area of my life, and for my spirituality to show up in each area of my life. So, I love it. So Robin says my spiritual freedom rating is 11. Yes. And so a shorthand way of writing that is the S for spiritual, the F for freedom, and the S for Saturday. So SFS equals 11. So I talk about the intentional living codes. And so for me, intentional living is like we all have our own code. We all have our own frequency. We all dial into that frequency. And I say that we rise and we reside at that cheers to financial freedom frequency. So cheers is C for the contribution, H for the health, E for emotion, etc. So it spells out cheers, which is very intentional. And so when you're vibing at an 11, Robin, I don't know if you're still on because it says nobody's on. When you're vibing at an 11, notice what you're doing in that area of your life and keep on doing it. And use your spiritual journal and use your spiritual routines and your rituals to keep that up, and come back on a Saturday for spiritual freedom and reflect how long that you can keep that up. If you can do it all week, when you're vibing lower, so depending on what your frequency is, then what can you do? Oh, my battery's low. What can you do throughout the week to include more spirituality in your life? All right, so I'm gonna talk about the soul income game. So the soul income game, we have a vibrational money voucher. So this is the Soul Legacy Journal, and so it's a very special journal. It's a notebook, actually, this one. But when I release the Soul Legacy Journal, it'll have the vibrational money voucher in there. So we create our spiritual vision board, right? And if you haven't done my spiritual vision board, again, I'll leave the link in the cards and in the description. And we spend a week seeing what your vision is for each of those areas of your life that I mentioned. And then I invite you to journal with me, and then I give you the Soul Legacy Journal gives you £1,000, dollars, or euros, wherever you are in the world, your currency, to spend each day vibrationally, so that you are emitting that energy and that frequency. So every day, so Robin, hopefully you're spending, or you're tithing 10% every single day off that 1,000. And the rules are that you can't pay bills because they're all taken care of. I want you to feel that feeling. Your bills are done, taken care of. Boom. If you tend to get a bill at all, you can pay it with that vibrational money voucher, right? Pay it. You don't have to spend it every single day, and you can carry over the money, but no more than 7 days. So on Sunday, you to spend all of that money. So it's £1,000, dollars, or euros. No bills, no savings. Your savings are taken care of, and your bills are taken care of. So if you happen to have a bill and you've got that fear around it, then pay it with the vibrational money voucher and say it's paid. I remember speaking to a coach years ago, and she said, write on the check, write a check for it, or write on the bill, write on an actual but a physical bill, write paid, write the word paid. So that, like, yeah, anyway, so yeah, spend your vibrational money. Robin, it says that you're not even on here. I've been tithing, going on a shopping spree tomorrow, not losing it again. Yes, so thank you for that. So it's tomorrow, yeah, financial freedom again. So I invite you to go through the Soul Income game. So I save mine until Sundays, so I will go on a shopping spree tomorrow as well. And then let me know what it is that you'll be spending, if you want to share what you'll be focusing on. And then And we'll share that every single week on a Sunday. But I also invite you to look at your finances. Once you've done that and you've got the energy and you're vibing high and you're seeing what's possible, look at your Stripe account, if you've got one, a PayPal account, your bank account, whatever that is, and just look what's going out and look what's coming in. Look at the gap, and we want to focus on bridging that gap. So I talk about building your spiritual business as one way of bridging that gap to bring more of the finances in and bring that into your actual reality. So I'm going faster because I don't want my phone to go off. So Robin talks about chakras, and you don't talk about crystals, but not so much chakras and the energy of that and unblocking the chakras. And today is, let me just say for Robin's Charles, so if you're aware that we are energy spiritually, we're energy, right? We're humans, souls having a human experience. So today is the third eye, the amethyst, and that is trust and intuition and spirituality. I'm not going to go into that. It's really cool, actually. It's really good, actually. Oh, I've lost the page anyway. Let me go. I know the page because I've written it down in the back. I'm going to touch on it really, really quick. Page 28. Really, really, really briefly because I don't want my thing. So it is trust, intuition, and spirituality. And I saw something in here that I wanted to say. So a protective stone, amethyst helps to purify the mind and eases stress and anxiety. That's what I want to say. And it's the crystal also facilitates creativity and communication. So it can be used as a talisman for focus and success. I love that. Spirituality and business success without being broke, without being busy, and without being burnt out. That's what I'm focusing on, the Soul Legacy TV. And so it is, did I say, so that was, oh, wait a minute. What did I just do the chakra or the crystal? I think I just did the crystal. Yeah, the crystal. And so this is, I've got a set of chakra crystals. So if I just merge that, I think I just did. So it is, what chakra is it today? It's the third eye. And this is amazing as well. I'm going to briefly, really briefly, and then I'm going to end with the card for today because it's beautiful. So it says this chakra is known by many names. The sixth sense, primal instinct, clairvoyance, but we'll stick to its commonly recognized name. This is the third eye. And it deals with our insight and our intuition and our wisdom. I love that. It just is beautiful. Just look it up and just really connect with it. I'm learning so much, and thank you, Robin, for teaching me. So I'm going to end with this Keepers of the Light card. It's an oracle deck. Yeah, I can't plug in my phone because I don't have another plug, which I am going to get a plug. So this is the card that I pulled for today. Can you see that? So it's El Moira, I believe, Awakening Presence. So I believe that these cards are for you too. So let me know if this resonates with you. So it says the universe is with you. Wear a cloak of protection and love. So this is the message of the about. It says, I don't know how to pronounce everything. El Moira is a spiritual name that was given to protect the identity of Rambhaya Singh, a spiritually aware man born into a powerful family that ruled Kashmir, by a region in India, like a subcontinent. In the 19th century, it is said that he interceded both spirituality and physically to stop the British invasion of the region in 1845. And I apologize for the robotic reading and the squinting. I have Erlen and dyslexia, and I don't wear my Erlen glasses on here. So anything that's on white paper like freaks my eyes out. So I'm just saying. And I've got my lights on. Anyway, so it says, this is the best bit. The wise soul is now able to help us remove any energy from our life that is not serving our connection to God. And I say universe. He is a wonderful guide to call on if we are unsure if something is real or not. He helps awaken our I am presence, which is our truest connection to our soul and to the universe itself. I think this is so beautiful for Spiritual Freedom Saturday. And I literally just shuffle the cards and ask who wants to speak to us today. Yeah, a cloak of love and protection. I know, it's beautiful. So the extended message is spiritual protection is important at this time. Ensure that you are clearing your energy before putting on protection. And I've been told this before, but I actually, and Robin, you'll be beautiful in doing this. And I would love to see on your live, actually, or just in private, for you to share with me how I actually do this, because I am listening, right? So my spiritual freedom is not just on a Saturday, it is throughout my life. And so I set the intention to put that, that cloak of love and that protection. And so, Robin, I'd really love your support on that, because I know that, like, you're a genius on this stuff and aligning our energy. And so, yeah, I didn't get the amethyst crystal out, but just aligning our energy and using our tools and our gifts and just remembering to incorporate that into our spiritual routines and our rituals. So he says that ensure that you are cleansing your energy before putting on protection. El Maria or Mara is here with the Legion of Angels to help you understand where you are at now. This is so crucial for me. Fire up your divine connection and detach from dramas. This is a boom moment for me. So welcome to the SoulLegacyTV YouTube podcast. So I am going to wrap up today. So let me know where you are watching from. I can see that somebody else has hopped on. And you'll be able to watch the replay. I've had a bunch of fun today. So Robin says absolutely. So feel free to comment down below and let me know if you are subscribed to the SoulLegacyTV YouTube podcast. So it says detach from dramas, people, places, and emotions that no longer serve you. And I talked about this yesterday on Relationship Freedom Friday, which was day 12. And I will continue to talk about it as we move forward, and detaching from the drama. And sometimes drama shows up and it doesn't even feel like drama at first until you start to detach, and then you go, oh wow, like this is what's happening for me. So this is really timely for me. Let me know if it's timely for you. So removing the people, places, and emotions that no longer serve you. Remember that within you there is a mighty soul light. Allow that light to shine through your entire being. Then call on El Maya and his angels to surround you in a light that will keep you safe on all levels. This is so beautiful. Also, know that facing fears, again, this fears stuff has really come up today. It's created a theme that I didn't even know would be a theme today. Also know that facing your fears, saying the truth, will strengthen your connection to the universal life force. How beautiful is that? That was a badass Spiritual Freedom Saturday, if I do say so myself. As I do this more, as I sit in my living room just sharing, and I'm like surrounded by all of the spiritual tools that I use to support me in living intentionally and support my rituals and my routines. And I don't have that like, oh well, this is my morning routine and then I'm done. This is having a spiritual routine throughout your day, throughout your week, so that you can really bring in and call in what it is that you need to vibrate at the frequency, so that you can manifest and be in alignment with your spiritual vision board. Again, I have the spiritual vision board challenge. It's 1 week to raise your chase of financial freedom frequency and continue on journaling with me in your spiritual journal. I talk about the masterclass, and so I will leave the link to my masterclass. It's called the Spiritual YouTubers Masterclass. I talk about banking 50K in 50 days. We do it vibrationally, as we've been doing today. And then we do it building your spiritual business online so that it feels really super successful. I have a free chapter to my book that is called Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch, a Soul Guided Influencer's Compass to leveraging your light work and lifestyle on YouTube, and kind of walking my talk and doing that. So Robin says, I feel that deeply for this year, removing who and what no longer serves our highest good. And Robin, and you know, me personally, we speak every single day. That's exactly where I'm at. You get whatever oracle cards you need to use, you want to use, whatever tools for your spiritual routines, then, you know, do that. I have a playlist for this spiritual journal with me, so you'll see that in the cards or in the end screens, and you'll also see my spiritual vision board challenge. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I love sharing the energy, the high vibes with you, the intentional living. So Robin says, thank you for sharing with us. I love this journaling journey with you. It's beautiful, isn't it? It really is. Thank you. You just make it even more special. So I love you. Mwah. Big love. I shall see you on the next video. Do come back for more Spiritual Journal with Me episodes. Mwah. Take care.